this is Faith at Faith and Books. How are you doing? It is Easter Monday, and I'm sitting in the parking lot of a thrift store. Pope Francis passed away this morning, so you might wonder what that has to do with being in the parking lot of a thrift store. But Pope Francis really changed me with his encyclical Laudato Si, and then later the Fratelli Tutti. He really came out, I mean, that combined my love for nature and my love for God. And it really, it allowed me to connect them in a way that I had never done before. It also spurred me to get more involved in my parish. So now I like have a whole set of friends, and it was really good transition for me because I was homeschooling, and I was in this homeschooling group that I'd been in forever, but my kids were graduating out of homeschooling. And so by reading that encyclical and getting very moved and motivated by it, and then getting involved in my parish, it really helped me transition. So there was more than one blessing that came from Pope Francis. So I haven't really teared up or anything. I've been watching a lot of videos, but I'm just so grateful to him. I feel gratitude, and I am feeling better today. I had just had 2 weeks of flu and then trying really hard to get over it. I was just exhausted. I think I was really suffering from exhaustion. And I finally feel better. I have energy. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go shop at a thrift store because for some summer tops and that sort of thing, which I never did before. But I did do that. I started to do that because Pope Francis made me start to think more intentionally about how I dressed and how I used my money. And so that's the connection. So it sounds silly, but I'm going to go thrifting for clothes because of Pope Francis and in honor of Pope Francis. And I pray for the repose of his soul. So anyway, I thought I would vlog a little bit just because I've been feeling like I wanted to vlog. There's something about vlogging occasionally that sort of makes you feel, I don't know, more self-reflective about your life and what you're doing, at least for me. So I think I will vlog a little bit this week. So anyway, I'm going to go in and go shopping because I do have to get home and make dinner, though we're just having leftovers from Easter dinner. All right, well, I will talk to you later then. Bye. Okay, it's much later in the day. It's almost 8:30. So I just thought I'd show you real quick what I bought. So this one, I think this has such pretty colors, but it was too small. So I'm going to give that to my daughter. I got this one. This is just a very cool material. I think it would be nice on hot summer days. I like this one a lot. This is there. So yeah, I really like this one. This one looked good on me. How much was that one? 8 something or another. These were all between like $6 and $9. This is just a denim short sleeve. This one I really liked, but this collar is a little low, and the way it flares out, it makes me look a little pear-shaped. So I'm not sure, but I like the deep color, and I like the sleeves. So I don't know. This one, I'm not quite sure of. That might have been the most expensive one, too. And this is just a little striped summer shirt. It's got, like, not a, it's got this kind of collar. What do you call that kind of collar? I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. It looks good. And then this pink one. Nice cotton. So, yeah, so those were the shirts that I got. And then I'll show you a book. For my birthday, a friend that I hadn't seen in ages gave me this book, The Lodger by Mrs. Belloc Lowndes. How do you say that? And it was written apparently in 1913. She inscribed it. So I'm hoping my eyes are good enough. It's very white paper, and the print is pretty big. So I'm going to try to read this. I think it's kind of a gothic mystery. So, yeah, I'd never heard of it. The Lodger by Mrs. Belloc Lowndes. Anyway, looks really good. Hello. I am out walking my dog. It is April 22nd. This is my parents' wedding anniversary. Anyway, I thought I would talk about a book that I finished. I listened to it on audio, but I had the physical book. It was my mother's, by Anthony Trollope, called Ayala's Angel. And it was so good. I listened to it last week. I finished it, the very last chapter, Easter evening. And it was just quintessential Trollope. If you like Trollope, if you like all his, he just has a cast of characters and you just get into their psychology, and it's all about them finding a mate. You can hear the birds singing. It was just wonderful. It was one of the best Trollopes I've read. I mean, sometimes, he has like these different themes and different types of characters, but he kind of, in every novel, he puts them in a different situation, and there's enough variation and humor and like nuance that somehow he does it. It's just kind of magical. So this, I believe, is my 21st Trollope. So I'm he wrote 47 books, and I would like to read everything he wrote. And it's the third Trollope I've read this year in 2025. So I'm pretty happy with how Trollope is going. Now, it really helped because the last two Trollopes I've read, I really listened to on audio. So I guess Trollope really works for me on audio. I'm not, like I always say, I keep saying, I'm not really great at listening over reading, but because my eyes have been so bad, but also just the last few weeks it's been easier to listen because just because my eyes are so bad, and I've had pockets of time where I've been able to listen to that bird. I wonder what kind it is. Anyway, Ayala's Angel. It was so good. It's about these sets of cousins and just their love lives, how they wind up getting married. It just has just really, really quintessential Trollope stuff. Very, very funny. I really enjoyed the minor characters a lot. Come on, what's the matter? He's looking at me like, who are you talking to? Where is he? Can I get him? There we go. Sniffing around. Anyway, yeah, I forget what I'm saying, but I really enjoyed Ayala's Angel. Definitely a 5-star read. Oh. Okay, how is the lighting in here? I just have you propped up on a bookcase because I'm going to say this real quick. So first of all, I wanted to clarify about the thrifting. The reason why I started thrifting after reading Pope Francis's Laudato Si is because it's a more sustainable way to buy clothes. We have a glut of clothing. The clothing industry is horribly wasteful and polluting and exploitative. And we just have too much clothing that's made out of synthetic fibers. And so to thrift is a really good thing. So both these items that I'm wearing right now, this sweater and this shirt, have been thrifted. I tend to thrift my tops. I'm an older woman, and most of the companies that do sustainable stuff, they're really geared for much younger people. So I tend to have to buy my pants from conventional companies. I do the best I can, but I did start thrifting a lot of my clothes after reading Laudato Si. So that was the whole thing with the thrifting and how Pope Francis inspired me to do that, to just try to live more sustainably in my daily choices. He talks about little daily actions where you're mindful of caring, of being a steward, a caretaker, a gardener of creation. And so you're mindfully and lovingly taking care of the home that God gave us, right? This beautiful garden that he gave us. So anyway, so back to books. Let me show you Ayala's Angel. This was my mother's copy. I love this cover. Look at the way that guy is slouching. In the book, there's a character with red hair. He's a ginger, which I don't know why the British have such a thing against red hair. I think it's their Irish prejudice or something. I have red hair in my family, and I love it. I love it. But anyway, so I just love that cover, though. There's a character named Jonathan Stubbs, and that's who I think this guy might be. So anyway, so Ayala's Angel. Again, I don't think I explained it very well, but I didn't want to give spoilers. But just, it's a wonderful book. 5 stars for sure. Then I wanted to go back and explain more about The Lodger. I read more about it. It says it right here. The author was the older sister of Hilaire Belloc. So Hilaire Belloc was a very popular Catholic writer. I've read, well, he wrote some really funny poems. I forget what they were called. But he wrote some funny children's poems. One's Matilda. Is that? Anyway, so you might have heard of him in that capacity. But he also wrote a wonderful book called The Path to Rome, where it's just a memoir of he walked from some point in Paris to Rome. He actually walked over the Alps and everything. And it's it should be a classic of literature, but because it's so religious, it isn't. But I highly recommend reading The Path to Rome. I would like to reread it. The copy I have, which is somewhere in this bookcase, is falling apart. So I need to maybe I'll get it on the Kindle and reread it. But boy, it's a wonderful, wonderful memoir. Really clever. Really, really fantastic. Anyway, so this woman was the older sister, and apparently she was a popular writer. It says here she was born in 1868. Her younger brother was Hilaire Belloc. She married Frederick Lowndes in 1896. Her first book was the biography of the Prince of Wales, later to become Edward VII. That was published in 1898. And she produced a steady stream of novels and plays and occasional memoirs. Her most famous novel is The Lodger, first published in 1913. So, and I could not tell who published this. This is a very nice publication, but it's got, the print is almost like print on demand, but then it's got this really nice cover. So, I can't tell who published it. It's weird. They don't have a name anywhere. But, yeah, I'm really excited to read this book. That's really interesting. And then I'm still reading an essay. I'm going to be reading this for the next couple of months. An essay on the development of Christian doctrine. Really dense stuff. Slow going. And I really think I'm reading it on my Kindle because this print is too hard on my eyes. But I think I'm going to be moving along. I misplaced it for a few days. I just found this, so I'm going to start making notes and stuff and really using this as a study copy because I need it. I need to stop and look up words and try to figure out exactly what he's saying. And it's very dense stuff. So, yeah, so I did some of this morning. So, yeah, and then I'm going to start listening again to The Two Towers, the second volume of The Lord of the Rings. I finished the first one. It was really good. I downloaded I was listening to it on audio. I downloaded the second one, got the wrong narrator. So my husband's downloaded the right narrator for me because he wants me to listen to it so he can listen to it afterwards. So I'm going to start up that again today. So that'll be my goal. And I'm still reading The House of the Seven Gables, which I'm only like 34% through. But Nathaniel Hawthorne is a slow read for me. And but I love he's very verbose. But once you get into the rhythm, I really enjoy him. He's very nuanced too. And he takes all these things and kind of weaves them together. Oh, that's my stomach growling. I'm so hungry. We're going to go out. We're taking the grandson who lives with us out to breakfast at the Silver Diner because he's on spring break this week. But last week, it was the public schools were on break. And so I'm watching the little guys, but I don't have to pick them up till 11:30. So we thought we'd do something fun with him and take him out to Silver Diner for breakfast. So I'm quite hungry right now. My stomach is gurgling away. Anyway, so that's it for right now. Maybe I'll talk about something else later as a vlog. I think I'll probably try to put this up on Thursday. So, all right, take care. Hello. So it's a little bit later in the morning. We went out to breakfast. It was very nice. I had the avocado toast. And it turns out that my grandson's mom, my oldest daughter, my adoption, could take the day off today. So she's actually, they just decided to go for a drive in the country, go exploring, because he's got this week off from school. So that's pretty cool. And I still have a half an hour before I have to go pick up the other kids. And it turns out that my son, who lives about an hour away, is going to come over with his 3 kids because he has off this week as well. So it's going to be a busy day with lots of children later on. But I thought I would just give a really quick tour of what my garden looks like right now, which isn't great, but it's, you know, things are slowly happening here. So let me turn this around. So I forget what I've videoed before, but anyway, these are my onions. I started these back in, was it January or February? They're Tokyo bunching onions. So those are my onions. And then over here I've got lettuce, a lettuce mix. Now I broadcast it all over this area, but you can see there's big blank areas. So it wasn't that successful, but that's something. I don't know the name of that lettuce. There's the lettuce there. So these are just, like, it was called salad bowl mix or something. So it's a bunch of lettuces that you can just throw out onto the soil and hope for the best. But here are weeds. So I need to do a little bit of weeding. I have about a half an hour, so I might do a little weeding. That's some violets that are growing up. This is some kind of a creeping vine that shouldn't be there. So yeah, so here's a lettuce. That's one of those purple lettuces. And then over here, I've got potatoes. I noticed some of the potatoes were exposed, so I hilled them a bit. So that's not potatoes. Where are the potatoes? That's a potato. That's a potato there. But some of these are just weeds. So I need to go through and pull weeds here. And then let's see what's over here. This is just some rosemary that's hanging on from last year. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is going. I have to still take care of these. This is where I'm going to transplant my tomatoes, these 2 beds, and my cucumbers. I got direct seed cucumbers and zucchini and stuff like that are going in these 2 beds, and then over there's 3 beds over there that I'm also going to plant. And then over here, I bought these spinach and transplanted them, and they really went into transplant shop. But now, oops, almost fell. But now they're really growing. So I'm gonna harvest some spinach. And I don't know what that plant is. And this is also a weed, and I think that's a great big weed as well. So I gotta get in here, and I planted some carrots along here. Yeah, they're just starting to come up. And I also planted, and they're not really coming up at all, Swiss chard. What happened to my Swiss chard? It's not happening. Like, see a lot of weeds. Is that Swiss chard? What happened to my Swiss chard? What is this thing growing? I gotta figure that one out. This is my strawberry patch. So we're gonna get strawberries. All those little white flowers are gonna turn into strawberries. We have dandelions. There's a lot of weeds mixed in, which every year I say I'm gonna weed it and take better care, and then I don't. But yeah, so these are all strawberries. They really, you can see how strawberries are pretty aggressive. Look at how much they're taking over. They were in these 2 beds, and they're just overflowing the borders here. So yeah, so hopefully get a lot of strawberries. I'm looking forward to that. So I feel like they were late this year because it was a really cold winter. So maybe we'll be getting these late in May. Not sure, we'll see. Good morning. It's the next morning, I forget what I said yesterday. We wound up going out to breakfast, and then my son came over with his 3 children. And so the cousins got to have play dates. So the 2 boys that 2 grandchildren I usually watch, got to play with their cousins who live about a little over an hour away. So, excuse me. It's nippy out this morning. So anyway, I'm out walking my dog. Yesterday, I did start to listen to the 2 Towers. And I gotta have the new narrator. He's much better. So I'm enjoying it, but somehow it was on the wrong chapter. I guess my husband had been listening to it, unbeknownst to me. What's the matter? Did you smell something? We have foxes, and when he smells a fox, he goes crazy. Come on. Oh my, he's a beagle. Beagles are like that. And I'm trying to get him he's moving too fast. Anyway, so I realized I had to go all the way back to chapter 3, because I think it was some point in chapter 3 that I lost. I put it down and didn't listen to it for a couple of weeks because I was sick. So anyway, I went back to that, but I do like it. I do really enjoy it. I really like this narrator, Rob Inglis, and I really enjoy Tolkien's writing. So hopefully I'll listen to it a lot more today. I'm watching children all day today, but in between times, I'll try to really listen. And like when I go pick up the little 3-year-old and that sort of thing, when I'm making dinner. And I'm kind of mad at myself because last night I didn't read The House of the Seven Gables like I should have. Like I wanted to, but I just got really lazy. During Lent, I gave up sweets and I gave up a lot of the internet. Like I really reduced my social media stuff. And so I just, last night while I was making dinner, there was just enough for 1 glass of wine left over from the wine that we'd been drinking for Easter. So that's somebody's generator going off. That's the noise you hear. Hope that's not too loud. But anyway, so I drank a glass, and it kind of, I don't drink very much, so I got a little bit buzzed. I think that threw off my concentration. And then I just sat and, doom scrolled until then it was time to take a shower, and then I just didn't read when I had an opportunity to read. So I'm going to be good today and not do that kind of thing. And I'll read more House of the Seven Gables. So, all right, so that's my check-in for now. So it's still the same morning. I haven't picked up the 3-year-old yet. I'm doing a little housework, and I'm still thinking about sustainability and Pope Francis and all that. So I thought I'd talk about a couple of things. For one thing, do you have all this cardboard building up in your homes? We always are dealing with all this excess cardboard that we have to remember to break down, put in recycling, and it's really a pain. But we just had these 2 boxes come in. So this, I really like this, even though I'm not a big drinker. I mentioned drinking, but I'm not a big drinker at all. But I do like having some bottle of wine on hand for the occasional celebration. It makes a great gift. Or I have adult children, and every once in a while they want some, they can take a bottle of wine, and it lasts forever. So you don't need to drink it right up. We don't. We have it for months. And anyway, this dry farm wines is very ecological. It's all organic, regenerative vineyards from all over the world. So let me show you. I stick them up in this cabinet. We have a surplus of cookies, but they're all up there. So I just put these away. So here's an example of it. This is from France. Usually they have a little map and they show you, oh no, they don't have it on this one. Anyway, that's the wine. So, but we have to take care of that box, right? And then this is, ever since COVID and there was like remember a shortage of toilet paper, my husband started getting this, It's toxin free. It's made from bamboo, but apparently because of the tariffs with China, they're going to go out of business. So we would get these, and then I just recycle the cardboard. So I have no idea if this is actually environmentally friendly. I mean, they're taking the bamboo from China and turning it into toilet paper and then shipping it all over the world. I don't know. I don't know if it really is, but this was something we were doing a while. And again, it's a box that comes in. You know, this is in addition to just Amazon boxes that come in randomly and that sort of thing. So we always are dealing with too much cardboard. It's kind of a pain. I never see anybody, any organizational videos or anything talk about trying to deal with a surplus of cardboard boxes. We've had our garage just full of boxes where it's taken us, an hour to break it all down to take it to the recycling center. So yeah. Over here, I'll just show you my tomato seedlings. I started, when did I start these? In March, at some point in March, probably late March. So these are peppers. Those are banana peppers. And then the rest are tomatoes. And then I have some in the other room as well. So, okay, so right now I'm gonna go out and water the garden, and then I'm going to go pick up the three. Yeah. Bunny, don't you have any common sense? Or you know that the beagle's on a leash, so you don't have to worry. He's very attentive. I wound up taking my 9-year-old grandson to his baseball practice unexpectedly.
All right, here we go. You ready? You ready? You ready to bounce off the bag? Jacob, come off the bag. Go back into head. Come off the bag, come back. Ready? Here we go. Everybody ready? Adam, you gotta pay attention now. Go home. Hey, go three. Here, come here, you're the
Don't get in the way of the hitter, though. Wait
Two.
You're the cutter.
There you go, Dylan. Dylan, nice hit.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this vlog. I vlogged a little bit on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's now Thursday morning. And yesterday was not a high reading day. I wound up not cooking dinner. We just ate leftovers. And I wound up taking, well, I've included some footage of taking my grandson to his Little League practice. So I didn't really listen to the Two Towers. I think I finished chapter 3, so I haven't gotten very far. I did read a bit more in The House of the Seven Gables, which I am really enjoying. I keep forgetting to talk about this book, The Rescuers by Marjorie Sharp. I have been reading this to my grandson. This is not a thick book, and it is not a hard to read book. He could read it. It's his reading level. But I have been reading this in tiny little snippets since, I think, January. So these are really nice illustrations by Garth Williams. It's a great story, and it's really well written. And I told him while he was on Easter break or spring break, we were going to finish this up. So right after this, I'm going to go down and read some to him. Yeah, just have a few. These are short chapters. It's crazy that it's taken us this long. It's just I just read it for like 5 minutes at breakfast time before he goes to school. And many mornings we don't get to it because we're busy, something's happening, or he's got to finish up homework, or we can't find socks or something like that. So it's not every weekday morning, every school day morning. And then it's only for a few minutes. So it's just taken a really, really long time. But I still recommend it, and I'm looking forward to finally finishing it this week. So, all right, well, I'm going to just wrap things up and put this together and try to get it up there this morning. And I guess I will talk to you later. Happy reading.